All right, Jonathan, will you please kick us off?
Jonathan Romlicon, 5 Reasons Sports. Shane, you're coming off from the UFC. Obviously, this is your first fight here in the PFL. A lot of fighters have crossed over before, haven't really been as successful. What do you think you need to do a little bit differently coming in to have some more success than the previous UFC fighters that have crossed over?
I'm not putting too much thought into anyone else. I'm just thinking about me and just being myself, and that's what I'm focused on. I noticed that, of course, but that's them and I'm me, and that's all I'm really focused on.
Now, coming into the season format, it's obviously a little bit different preparing for a whole season, 4 fights versus 1 fight. What was maybe some differences in your training camp or your preparation coming into this season format?
Yeah, so I get asked this question a lot, and this is the first fight I'm going into on Friday, so nothing's been different. If anything, I've trained even harder. So for the next camp, not that I don't have to train as hard, but I'll just be able to stay in shape and roll that over into the next camp. So I busted my ass in training camp for this. It'd be better timing to ask me for my next fight how things have changed, because I think the second and third and fourth camps are going to be completely different than this first one. This first one's basically just been one hard ass camp.
Appreciate your time. Being out of New York, one of my favorites, man. I appreciate it. Have a good one.
Thank you.
Dylan.
Hey, what's up, Shane? Dylan Rush. How you doing, man?
My man, what's up, bro?
It's your PFL debut, and you're fighting the division's reigning champion in a main event slot. I know it's only been a couple months, but how happy are you with the treatment you've received from the promotion, being in the spotlight out of the gate?
Another great question. It's been awesome. One of my friends just texted in a group chat. He's like, "Can we just take a minute to give PFL the praise not the praise, the props they get for giving us so much, giving me so much praise? Like, they've been awesome, not just on social media and pushing and marketing, but the staff has been incredible. It's been a seamless, smooth transition. If anything, I've been treated better here than I've been in the UFC, and I was treated great in the UFC. But man, the staff here is awesome.
That's dope. You got a lot of high-level training partners back home at Tiger Schulman's, but who are some guys that pushed you especially hard throughout this training camp in preparation for this bout?
Yeah, so I had Rob Riccio, who's going in training camp with me. He's another 55er, up and coming, undefeated guy. He's fighting the week after me, so that's one of my main guys that I've been working with. But then I've been also training a lot of southpaws, like, because obviously I'm fighting a southpaw. So a lot of professional boxers. This one dude I trained with, his name is Camille Batternick. He just fought last week. He's 11-0, and now he's 12-0 with 7 knockouts. Some other pro boxers, and then I had Eddie George, who's another undefeated guy, southpaw, coming out of New England. So it's been great. Connecticut, actually, not New England.
I got a long-winded question, so stick with me, Shane. There are many differences between the PFL and other promotions, but perhaps the biggest difference would have to be the scoring system. In the PFL, all wins are not created equal. You can earn more points based on whether you secure a finish and in which round that finish comes. Do you envision that the scoring system will be in the back of your mind come fight night, or does all that go out the window and that cage door locks behind you?
All that shit's out the window, man. I can't put too much thought into that. And the point system, I can see maybe some guys getting wrapped up in it, but as soon as the referee says go, I'm not thinking about take him down and hold him down for 3 rounds. You guys see how I fight. It's you say go, okay, it's time to kill the guy. I'm trying to take him out from the first bell to the last bell. So the points that's I don't have to think about that. I'll let that shit out of my head, because that's just the way I fight. I'm looking for the first round finish every time I fight. What fighter isn't, honestly, right? Especially in this format when you got to fight again in a couple weeks. Like, we're trying to get in and get out.
Makes sense. Then my last question, you got your little brother Ryan with you, another professional fighter. How has it been having him here in Vegas training with you? And I saw he was in your corner for the last UFC fight in Long Island. Is he going to be in your corner for this? And what does it mean to have him there with you this week?
Yeah, so he's like my right-hand man. He's been there for me for my last couple fights. He's been in my corner for my last fight, so we're going to keep that going because we got to win for the last one. But even when he wasn't in my corner, he was there for the week leading up, and now he's getting bigger. He's 21 years old, going to be 22 soon. So he can actually give me work. He's a good body to have around. Yeah, man. So we got the win last time. Now we're going to keep that streak going.
Appreciate you, Shane. Good luck, brother.
Thank you, brother.
Anik.
Shane, Anik Subramanian, Fightbook MMA. So nice to meet you and welcome to the PFL.
Thank you.
You mentioned that. Yeah, you mentioned part of why you chose the PFL was because they give you an opportunity to do commentary. And I know that's one of your passions. I was wondering if you've done any commentary with the PFL yet, or is there any plans going forward for that?
Haven't done any yet. Obviously, they're letting me focus on the fight and then on the season, because that's that trumps everything. That's premier. That's what I got to focus on. So I appreciate them letting me focus on that. But I've done not official commentary, but I popped on during the fights last week and during the Challenger series just to talk in between rounds and stuff like that. So that was cool, that little opportunity there. But definitely want to get my feet wet a little bit more with that down the road once I'm done with the season at least.
Awesome. And one more question for me. You're fighting the 2022 champion on Friday. Are there any other dream opponents within this PFL's lightweight division that you hope to fight throughout the year? And if so, like who would they be? Tunnel
vision, OAM. That's all I'm thinking about. I'm not thinking about anybody else. I know there's other guys in the division. There's 10 other guys or 9 other guys aside from me, but none of that matters. I'm focused on the guy that just won the season. For me to overlook him would be ignorant. So I'm not doing that. Awesome. Can't wait to see you fight. Thank you.
Lorenzo.
Hey, it's Lorenzo from the MMA Millisecond. Shane's good to talk to you, my man. Your last fight in the cage was 9 months ago, almost to the day. A couple of years ago, you were out for 11 months between fights also. Can you talk a little bit about how you managed to keep your mental state poised and ready during an extended period of time off?
Yeah, I stay in the gym. Like everyone's like, what are your hobbies? I don't have hobbies. I love training, especially when I don't have a fight. If there's an injury or something like that, I'm always in it. I'm training around it. So I eat, sleep, and breathe this sport. I really do love this sport. And my favorite thing to do when I don't have a fight is to get back to the gym and train. So just staying ready. I got a bunch of teammates who have a really big team. So I don't really ever get out of shape.
PFL fans have been waiting for your debut ever since you signed with the promotion in 2022. There's a lot of top competition in this division. What can you tell the PFL fans about how you believe you stack up against the rest of them and what they can expect from you in 2023?
Absolutely. The PFL lightweight division is stacked. I think the lightweight and the featherweight are the two most stacked divisions. If you look at the talent, the guys coming in are world-class athletes coming from world-class gyms too. So I'm not overlooking any of them. A lot of people are like, oh, he's going to the PFL, he's going to get easier fights. Hell no, I'm not thinking that way at all. I think these guys are tough. And the fact that I'm moving up to 55 is going to be another challenge too. So I'm excited for it though. I think that I match up well with all of them. And obviously I wouldn't have signed up and I wouldn't be here right now if I didn't believe myself. I believe my skills would trump everything, all of them.
It's been raining here in South Florida for like 4 days straight. It feels like a hurricane, but the real hurricane's on this Friday, baby. So I'm excited to see you fight, man.
Yes, sir. Hurricane in Vegas, the first ever.
Thank you.
Kyle.
Hi, Shane. Kyle from Violent Money here. You mentioned just then about the featherweight division being the other stacked division in the PFL. Do you think you could realistically compete there as well, or would the weight cuts that often be too much?
Yeah, the weight cut too. It was just that's why I got hurt in my last fight. There's the weight cut, being at that caloric deficit for so long and not being able to eat to fuel my body to properly recover. Doing 45 and then 10 weeks later doing 45, then 10 weeks later doing 45, it would be detrimental to my performance. It wouldn't be the best Shane Burgos, and I want to give the best Shane Burgos every time I'm out there. So I think it's time for me to close that door on 45, especially for a season. Like it wouldn't make sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. You mentioned like that your sign-in has it feels like a big moment for the PFL. It feels like a big get in that they're starting to get guys, that people know that have got plenty of time left in the tank. Do you feel like more people are going to start signing with the PFL thanks to them signing guys like yourself that are already household names in MMA?
Absolutely. I feel like I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but I feel like I'm a little bit of a trailblazer in the way I went about it and the way I did it. Not a lot of guys, not really any guys that I can think off the top of my head have done it the way I did it. I went out, fought my contract out, 2-fight win streak. Won my last 2 fights, they were bangers, and then signed to the PFL. Like most of the guys just re-signed to the UFC and stay. But no, I bet on myself. I won that last fight. My stock went up even higher, and then look where I'm at now. So yeah, I think that's going to open a lot of guys' eyeballs to realizing like the UFC. Yeah, it is the number one promotion when it comes to eyeballs, but it's not the number one promotion when it comes to pay. And then, do you want to be a prize fighter or do you want to be a UFC fighter? You got to ask yourself that.
Another guy like yourself that I think people were surprised when they found out he's going to be leaving the UFC is obviously Olivier Aubin-Mercier, who you're fighting this Friday. Do you prefer it to come in and straight away face the guy that was last year's winner? Try and make a statement off the bat.
Absolutely, yeah. Give me the best, like the guy that won the entire thing right off the bat when I'm fresh. Hell yeah, give me that. I don't want him when I'm banged up from the other fights, right? I want him right off the bat. So yeah, that makes sense to me. I didn't expect it at first, just to be honest, but looking at it, I'm like, dude, if I had to pick, why wouldn't I choose the toughest guy first right off the bat? Because that's when I'm fresh.
Absolutely, man. All the best for Friday.
Thank you.
Jake.
Hey, Shane, great to talk to you. Jake Noacker from the Scrap News. Big debut coming up. I know you're very happy with where you are in the PFL and you're excited to be with the promotion. However, I'm wondering if you heard Dana White say they made a mistake in letting you go. And if so, did that make you feel good at least?
100%. Yeah. 100%. It shows like the appreciation he had for the way I fight and everything that I've gave to the sport. I mean, like I put my blood, sweat, and tears into every single fight, and for him to say that, it meant a lot. It showed that he appreciated it. He didn't have to say anything. He could have just shut his mouth and be like, all right, go to the PFL, whatever. But no, he showed some praise. So that was awesome.
He rarely does say something. So yeah, that was awesome to hear. As exciting as you are coming your first fight from the UFC, Olivier hasn't lost since he was in the UFC. As a fan, I'm just wondering, how did we get so lucky with this fight being first in the season?
I asked the PFL matchmakers. I think Ed is responsible for this one. So yeah, he did a great job. Was it Ed? Tony, I think. Ed or Ray, one of them. I don't know who it was. One of them gets the props. We'll just give the PFL the props. That was a smart thing to do. Some people were hating online with the comments, like, why are they doing it right off the bat? But we can still fight again. Like, that's the thing with, like, it's not, the door's not shut. Like, you win this fight, it doesn't mean you're not going to fight the guy again. You saw with Pettis and Stevie Ray last year, they fought almost back to back. So it's a hot fight right out the gate. Why not? Who's not excited for this fight?
I don't think anybody is not excited for this fight. And just last one from me. Dylan earlier brought up your brother Ryan. I know Ryan's there with you. I'm a big Cage Fury guy. I was going to interview Ryan. I'm just wondering, when's he planning to get back in there? Is he healthy? How's he feeling?
Yeah, so he was supposed to fight last week. Had a pretty bad injury. Not bad where he needs surgery, but bad where he can't really fight. So sucks, but he'd probably be fighting at the end of he's waiting to see a specialist, but he's probably going to fight at the end of the summer, I'd say. So hopefully sooner. But yeah, the kid's only 1-0. He's 21 years old, but he's a fucking beast.
Well, we're looking forward to that. And
PFL better get him while he's hot, honestly.
Cage Fury to PFL off the bat. Thank you so much, Shane. Best of luck.
No problem. Thank you.
Patrick.
Hey, Shane, this is Patrick McCoy from Combat Sports UK. How you doing today?
I'm good, man. Thank you.
Great to hear, man. We talked a couple of weeks ago, but I noticed your hair's all gone. I knew you with the braids and everything. So are you going to grow over the season? And then in the final, if you're there, you have the long, luscious braids again?
Man, I wish my hair grew that quick. My hair grows so slow. It took me like 3.5 years to grow it out that long. So I don't know. Maybe we'll grow it out, but it takes so damn long that in-between process, I don't know if I can stand that again, honestly.
And, new weight class. Do you feel bigger here on Fight Week? We're a day away from the weigh-ins.
Absolutely. It's not even, this is like awesome, man. Like I've been fucking fueling, eating right, eating good foods. It's like usually on Fight Week for 45, I'm just like, I'm just slugging along. I feel like absolute shit. I'm just like lying to myself about how good I feel. I'm just like, I do not feel good. At 55, it's still, don't get me wrong, it's still a weight cut. I'm not cutting no weight. You know what I mean? I'm still cutting weight, but just what I'm able to do, the energy I feel like I can actually walk around and do stuff. The other times I'm like, guys, I need to take a break. Just walk through this hotel is killing me. So it's been a huge weight off my shoulders, literally and figuratively.
And Olivier Aubin-Mercier said today that he's not sure your style will hold up across the PFL season format. So what do you say to that? And what's your final message for him going into this fight?
I don't give a fuck what anyone thinks. I'm me, man. I'm unapologetically me. That's just, okay. He said that, so I'm going to fight different. No, I don't give a fuck. Like it's just one way I know how to fight. You guys all see it every time. So we'll see how he reacts to that on Friday.
And last one from you, man. I saw in your Instagram story, your team was eating Raising Cane's while you were stuck eating your salad. And so I want to ask you, what's your post?
It wasn't a salad. A post-fight meal plan is the Win buffet. So that's the post-fight meal plan. And then after that, we're going to go hit Pink Box Donuts. And then Saturday morning, I got Hash House to go for breakfast. That's actually me and my wife's 11-year anniversary. Then right before we hit the airport, I got to hit that, I think it's Sayulita's Mexican spot. So yeah, it's already planned out.
Congratulations on your anniversary and looking forward to your fight on Friday.
Thank you.
All right, Marty, ride us off into the sunset, please.
Shane, this is Wiz from BetUS. How are you doing today and how are you feeling?
I'm good. I feel great.
First question for you. How has the transition been from the UFC to the PFL? And how does it feel not having to cut all this weight? I know you've been asked a little bit about this, but if you can go a little bit more into detail.
Yeah, so it's been pretty smooth and pretty seamless. If anything, it's probably been the best fight week I've had to date. Honestly, I'm not just trying to say that to hype anyone up. Like it's been a super smooth process, seamless process, going from what I used to do in the UFC to what I'm doing here now, it's almost exactly the same. I'm treated very, very well. Like I have zero complaints. It's been the best fight week I've had. And then on top of that, I actually feel good from not having to cut stupid weight like I was cutting before. Like 45 is miserable, man. Like the last couple of weeks, I said it a couple of times in other interviews, last couple of weeks leading up to the fight, like last 3 or 4 weeks, it's just focused on the scale. I'm not really thinking about anything else. I'm not thinking about my performance on the mat and training. I'm just thinking about getting my weight as close to 45 as possible. For this one, I'm like actually focused on, all right, how did you feel in sparring? Like you had good rounds. All right, you need to do this, you need to do that. Other times it's just making weight. So that's been huge. I feel fucking great. Sorry for all the cursing, by the
way. That's awesome. What do you think separates you from every fighter in the lightweight division here in the PFL compared to how you felt or how you saw yourself in the featherweight division in UFC?
Yeah, I just think there's something different about me specifically. I have that mental grit, that toughness, that mental fortitude. I don't know. Like I've been saying it a lot. Like it's just something different. When the referee says go, I don't take it as a 3-round fight. I take it as 3 separate fights. Like I'm trying to finish you from that first bell to the last bell in the first round. Then the second one I'm looking at as another fight. And then the third round I'm looking at as another fight. So I think it's my mental attitude when it's time to fight. I think it separates me from everyone else in the world.
And last question for me, given that you get rewarded for finishes early in the PFL, with the extra 10 pounds on you, how do you feel that your finishing ability has improved?
Yeah, I think that's going to be huge. It's like I said, I've been focused on performance in the gym. The last couple of weeks at 45, I don't care about performance. I care about making weight. This one has been strictly revolving around how I'm doing on the mat, how I'm doing in sparring. So yeah, it's going to be huge. And the points out the window. I don't care about the points. I'm not putting too much stock into the points. I'm trying to get that first round finish, period.